the Empire State Building, the Golden Gate Bridge, the World Trade Center. Every major American infrastructure project of the 20th century was built by tradespeople whose toolbox had one thing in common: the red wrench from Ohio. Every skyscraper, every hospital, every school, every house built in the last 100 years has pipes that were cut, threaded, and fitted using a red Ridgid wrench made in Elyria, Ohio. The design has not changed in 100 years. The pipe wrench William Thewes patented in 1922 and the pipe wrench sold today are functionally identical, with the same slanted jaw, the same one-piece housing, the same ductile iron and hardened steel. Before Ridgid, every plumber in America used the Stillson wrench, a 50-year-old design with more moving parts, less grip, and a reputation for slipping under pressure. Ridgid replaced it so completely that most Americans today have never heard the Stillson name. 3 people started this company in a converted factory in North Ridgeville, Ohio, in 1923 with $50,000 in capital stock. One of them was a machinist named Thewes who had a simple idea: put the adjusting nut outside the housing instead of inside it. By the late 20th century, American hand tool manufacturing faced a storm of consolidation and offshoring. Once, small companies and regional brands filled the shelves of hardware stores across the country. But as global supply chains expanded, the economics of production shifted. According to trade reports, by 2019, 78% of all hand tools sold in the United States were made overseas, most in factories thousands of miles from the job sites they served. Classic names, once rooted in local foundries, merged or disappeared as larger conglomerates bought up competitors, seeking efficiency over tradition. The 1966 purchase of Ridge Tool Company by Emerson Electric stands as one example. But in most cases, these deals led to shuttered plants and brand names reduced to labels on imported goods. For many tradespeople, the wrenches and cutters in their toolboxes began to look the same, regardless of the logo. The American Tool Institute's annual report noted not just the loss of domestic production, but the erosion of brand identity itself. In an industry where nearly 4 out of 5 tools now arrive by container ship, the idea of a locally made, unchanging design became the exception rather than the rule. William Thewes, a machinist from North Ridgeville, Ohio, saw the limitations of the Stillson wrench firsthand. The Stillson, dominant since the late 1800s, relied on a thumb wheel and multiple moving parts, which could slip or seize on rusted pipe. In May 1922, Thewes filed his own patent for a pipe wrench that addressed these field frustrations. His design featured a straight cast handle, a single moving jaw, and a built-in size scale stamped along the shank. Most importantly, a friction spring held the jaw in place, locking it automatically against the pipe without the need for constant adjustment. This spring-loaded mechanism meant the wrench gripped tighter as torque increased, reducing the risk of slippage and injury. Patent drawings from the time show the simplicity and clarity of the improvement, a tool that worked faster, with fewer parts to break or jam. The United States Patent Office granted Thewes' application in September 1925. But his invention was already being prepared for production by a new company, ready to challenge the old standard. Incorporation papers filed in Elyria, Ohio on October 2, 1922, formalized the creation of Ridge Tool Machinery Company. William Thewes, his wife Barbara, Carl Ingwer Sr., and Arthur Smith pooled $50,000 in capital, double the amount held by the predecessor firm, signaling both ambition and confidence in the new design. Minutes from the first board meeting record the purchase of the Schwartz Van Wormer Company's assets for $12,500, including the machine shop at Center Ridge and Avon Belden Road, a full set of lathes, and a stockpile of forged steel. This acquisition gave the founders immediate production capability for Thewes' patented wrench. Barbara Thewes managed the company's finances and payroll, while Ingwer's expertise in heat treating and Smith's background in plant management shaped day-to-day operations. The name Ridgid, drawn from the Center Ridge district, appeared on early packaging and was registered as a trademark in December 1923. The founders' combined skills and resources transformed a single patent into a manufacturing entity ready to supply the American trades. From the steelwork of the Empire State Building to the sweeping cables of the Golden Gate Bridge, Ridgid tools became a silent fixture on some of America's most ambitious construction sites. Contractor logs from the Golden Gate project in 1935 list Ridge Tool Company of Elyria, Ohio, as the supplier for adjustable wrenches used by ironworkers during the bridge's assembly. A construction photograph from the 1929 Chrysler Building build shows a red-handled wrench consistent with the Ridgid 7-inch model introduced just 6 years earlier. In the 1960s, the Port Authority's procurement files for the World Trade Center include a 1967 order for Ridgid Model 300 threading machines, evidence that the brand's equipment was present as those towers rose in Lower Manhattan. Across decades and job sites, the same forged iron and steel, stamped with the Ridgid name, threaded pipes and tightened fittings in the hidden spaces of America's landmarks. The red wrench left its mark not just in toolboxes, but in the infrastructure that shaped the Skyline. In 1942, Ridge Tool Company moved its operations into the vast Garford building in Elyria, Ohio, expanding into a 715,000 square foot facility. This new plant gave Ridgid the manufacturing muscle to meet the demands of a nation building upward and outward. The factory floor, larger than 10 football fields, became the birthplace of a series of machines that would shape the future of pipework. In 1948, the Model 400 power drive launched, offering portable threading for the first time. It was quickly followed by the Model 500 in 1950 and the Model 535 in 1957, which combined cutting and threading in a single station. Each new machine built on the same principles of durability and reliability that defined the original wrench. By 1962, Ridgid's reach extended overseas with the opening of the Leuven, Belgium plant. Yet the Elyria foundry remained the heart of production. The Model 300, introduced in 1959, still used the original casting patterns, a link between the earliest days and the modern era. Behind every product milestone, the Elyria plant stood as proof that scale and quality could grow together, supplying tools to job sites across the country and beyond. James Whitaker, now 98, remembers the first time he used a Ridgid wrench on the Cleveland Metropolitan Hospital job in 1953. "You could count on it every day," he says. It did not matter if the pipe was old or new. It gripped and held. He still has that same wrench on his workbench. On the production floor in Elyria, Lena Torres inspects a batch of 12-inch models, running her hand along the jaw before each one is boxed. Her grandfather worked this line in the 70s, she says. The tools look the same and feel the same. They still use his old inspection gauge for the final check. For Alex Miller, a third-generation plumber, the family's 1952 Ridgid wrench is more than a tool. It is a rite of passage, part of the family tradition. His father handed it to him when he started his apprenticeship. It has his initials scratched in the handle. He plans to pass it to his son when his son is ready. In the classroom at Cuyahoga Community College, Dr. Elena Robinson sets out a row of Ridgid wrenches before her students. She tells them this is what they will use in the field, the same design their mentors used and theirs before them. It is part of the trade. Emerson Electric's acquisition of Ridgid Tool Company in 1966 came with a promise that set Ridgid apart from the rest of the industry. No relocation, no shuttered plants, and no loss of Ohio jobs. Emerson's 1967 Form 10-K reaffirmed that the Elyria facility would remain the center of production. This pledge held true as Ridgid expanded its product line. In 1967, the company purchased Coleman, adding drain cleaning machines to its catalog and integrating new technology into the Elyria plant. The launch of the aluminum handle wrench in 1969 offered tradespeople a lighter option without sacrificing strength. The CT400 pressing tool, introduced in 1999, brought hydraulic power to pipe joining, while the C-Snake micro-reel camera in 2007 opened a new chapter in pipe inspection. Each innovation was built on the same foundation: local manufacturing, durable materials, and a design philosophy that valued improvement without abandoning what worked. In 2023, Ridgid marked its centennial with a quiet certainty that few American manufacturers can claim. The original heavy-duty straight pipe wrench, first produced in Elyria in 1923, remains in the catalog, its silhouette and mechanism unchanged. Still cast from the same sand molds, still finished in the same Ohio plant. The Model 300 threading machine, introduced in 1959, continues to roll off the line, its core design untouched by trends or cost-cutting. Centennial celebrations brought out not just new products, but the old ones too. The first wrenches, their red enamel faded, set beside brand new models, nearly indistinguishable except for the wear of a century of use. Oral histories from tradespeople echo a simple ritual. Tools are handed down from parent to child, initials scratched into iron, each wrench a link in a chain that stretches across generations. In an industry where most brands have shifted overseas or faded into memory, Ridgid's continuity stands as both artifact and inheritance, quietly carried forward by the hands that build and repair the country's hidden infrastructure. 100 years after William Thewes' 1922 patent, every Ridgid pipe wrench still leaves Elyria, Ohio, with the same uncompromising design. In an era of disposable tools, that quiet continuity anchors the trades. The Skyline changes, but the red wrench endures, reliable as steel and just as essential.